Keep it going for Christian, everybody. A little bit about me. I'm very emotional. I cry a lot.
Cheers to that, my man.
Right, dude. Me and that guy. His dad hit him too.
Hey, we don't talk about that.
But no, I cry a lot. Like, if I see someone crying, I'll start crying. If I walked in here tonight, man, you were crying, like, I'll start crying. And I'll just hold you till we get through it together, right? I've been like that my whole life, and it affected me because I can't fight with people either because I'll start crying. So, like, I was dating a girl for a while who was a bitch, right? And it sucked because I wanted to break up with her, but every time I tried to break up with her, like, she'd start crying, I'd start crying, and I'd keep paying her rent. And I told my buddy, I'm like, how do I get out of this? Like, what am I supposed to do? He said, it's easy. You just start a fight. You say the meanest shit you can think of. If you do it right, she'll leave. And I was like, all right. Well, she was the kind of girl that she would get mad at little shit, right? So I just left the sock on the couch because I knew that would work. So she walked in and she sees it and she's like, what's this? And she picked it up and I was like, that's a sock. Just trying to be like, I'm making it worse, right? So she throws it at me and I was like, cool, we're in. And she said, I'm not your mom, I'm not your maid, I'm done with this. And I said, well, your sister gives better head. And yeah, and it worked too. She didn't say anything, she just left, right? She beat the shit out of her sister, and that made me feel bad, because like I lied, right? Because her sister sucks at giving head. And that one didn't work out, so. And then I was single for a minute, like, and I don't like being single. I know, like, there's a lot of dudes, like, that's what they want to be, like, the single guy. I don't like that. So my brother and my sister-in-law decided they were going to, like, cheer me up, right? They're going to bring over one of her friends. Like, my goldfish died and they tried to replace it before I got home, right? So we'll keep the girl's name out of the store. We'll just call her this bitch. So I showed up, and they're on my couch. It's my brother, my sister-in-law, and then this bitch. And he's like, hey, man, have you met fucking this bitch? Like, I was mad about it. I was like, dude, I can't even believe you would just do that to me. Like, I just got a relationship that's a little insensitive. And he's like, it's not really what you think. Like, we just brought her here to cheer you up. I was like, is that her friend or did you hire her? Like, why is she on my couch? And, like, I don't know where they found her. I know they could have done better, right? Like, and that's, I know how I look. I look like Limp Bizkit's biggest fan. So, like, very 2004, right? So I'm looking at her and I was like, all right, well, like, you know, she just doesn't waste any time. She just goes, which room's yours? And I was like, fuck, it's the first door on the right. So then she walked down the hallway and she's like, this is the bathroom. And I was like, no, we're going to shower first. Like, I'm not. And then I poured 2 shots and I walked down the hallway and she's like, no, I don't drink. And I was like, no, they're both for me. Like, I'm going to eat this. And then we took a shower. She was digging it. I don't think she's had a shower in a minute. And then we go back to my room. Like, now I have to perform, right? And, like, I'll save you the details because it was pathetic and I cried. But I walked back out into my living room. My brother's still on my couch. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, fuck it, go. And he's like, no, we're just going to hang out. I was like, no, I was going to see, like, maybe we're going to watch a movie or something. And he's like, well, she has another appointment at 5, so. I was like, I fucking love you, man. But I'm married now, so that's fun, I guess.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm happily married. I say that because she told me to. And we, she's worried, my wife's worried. She's worried that now that we're married, that, like, we're going to fall apart sexually. And I was like, if we do, like, that's on you. Because I'm not going to be the dude that's like, I'm all done fucking, right? Like, I'm still into it. So I told her, I was like, don't, like, that shouldn't bother you. But it bothered her enough. She brought home this jar, and on it said erection assist cream, which is a problem that I didn't know I had, right? So I was like, what's that? She's like, it's supposed to make your dick harder. I was like, well, what's in it? Because one, I don't trust her. She could be icy hot. She fucks with me a lot. So I was like, I'm not, like, I don't trust you at all, right? And she's like, just lay down. And I did because fucking you would too, right? So I laid down and then she starts rubbing it on me. And she's like, look, it's working. Like, it's getting harder. I was like, no shit, you're rubbing my dick. Like, like that's what's supposed to happen, dude. It's not the shit in the jar. You just wasted $9.99, you know? Like, you could use anything. Like, I fucking, dude, I hate mayonnaise, but. If it's dark and I don't see the jar, like. You like mayonnaise, bro? Yeah, dude. It's like, yeah, dude, my pillowcase smells like a BLT, bro. I'm fucking way into it. I like being married though. Like I told my wife, I was like, if you ever wanted, like I've lied to every relationship I've been in, so that made me feel bad. So I was like, I won't lie to my wife, and I haven't. So I was like, if you ever want to know anything, just ask. I'm an open book, right? And that's a fucking setup. So, because she didn't even wait. Like it was that night. We're eating dinner, and she just goes, "Hey, so like, do you still masturbate?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Everyone does, right?" One honest guy.
Yep.
Yeah, of course he did, man. That guy was very, very into this. But no, I was like, everyone does. I was like, you do, and she's like, no, I don't. You're enough for me. And she has 2 vibrators, so I know she's lying, right? Like I'm not the guy. We go through a pack of batteries a week. I know I'm not the guy, right? But it kind of bothered her. She's like, that makes me upset. Like you would do that even though I'm here. I was like, well, I don't do it when you're here. Like I do it if I beat you home from work or you're at your parents' house. Like I'm not a dick. And she's like, no, you're in a committed relationship. You shouldn't have to do it. And I was like, I don't have to do it. It's like when you go to the grocery store, but then you go through the drive-thru on your way home. Like it's just less work. You know? But she wanted to know a lot about it. She's like, well, how do you do it? I'm like, what do you mean, how do I do it? Like, what do you think? I turn on music and lay down? I was like, no, I either take a shower or I stay in the corner so the dogs don't see me. And she was like, no, do you use lube? And I said, no, I'm a dry rub guy, right? And yeah, that's where I lied though, because sometimes I do use lube, right? I call it a spa day. That's for me. And so I got home from work pretty early one day. I was like, I could probably throw one out pretty quick. And like I said, I don't use lube a lot though. So like I put it on and I felt like there was a lot of friction, right? So I was like, if there's like a lot of friction, I just heard it's cheap lube, right, dude? Right. And so I put a bunch on, right? And I'll tell you how it ended. You know how it ended. So then I toweled off. Everything's good. And then later I noticed my underwear is pulling a lot. And I was like, whatever this is all bad, right? Like I'm not into this at all. And I was like, they were stuck to me. So it turned out to catch me lying. My wife mixed super glue with the lube. Yeah, dude. I was like, you're a bitch. I was like, I'm gonna put hot sauce on your vibrator so we get even. Like I can't. She like caught me like waxing myself with my underwear, making a noise I can't even imitate, right? And she kicked the door open. She's like, I knew it. I knew you were lying to me. Like, what do you have to say for that? I'm like, you fucking ruined spa day. Like I had, you guys are a lot of